Hey guys, welcome to another GameXplain discussion. I'm your host, Andrew Seegers, and this time we're again joined by Derek Binder to discuss all the news for Smash Bros. Wii U and 3DS from this past week. So let's get right into it. Alright Derek, so right away I should correct myself because we're not going to discuss all the news from this past week. Because for one, that'd be insane. For two, we already did a large chunk of it in the previous discussion. That we posted just a few days ago. But we are still going to cover all the week's screenshots because that's kind of what we do now. Before we get going though, I just want to say a quick word about our Smash coverage. We have a lot more coming. We just posted our granola.
Granola the Greninja. That's our new nickname.
Done.
We got Go-Gurt and... What's it with you and food?
I don't know,
Pokemon?
man.
We got Go-Gurt the Go-Goat and Granola the Greninja.
That's brilliant. So we just posted our Greninja analysis yesterday. We have another one going up shortly after this discussion goes up. So by the time you guys are listening to this, it may already be up. It's an overview of... it's basically the biggest secrets that we found in Smash Brothers. And it doesn't cover everything, but that will take us forever. So we've got even more analysis coming up after that. They'll cover the characters, the stages, and we'll do something with the items, Pokemon, and assist trophies as well. So we have a lot more coming. Stay tuned for all that. With that out of the way, let's start off with this week's first screenshot, which was Monday's being a Metroid Assist trophy. In the screenshot, it looks just like, or it looks pretty similar to the one from Brawl. It looks a lot more detailed here, and we gotta see it in more detail in the Nintendo or in the Smash Brothers Direct. And sure enough, it seems to behave just like before. So Derek, I think you're probably a little bit more into Metroid than I am. What do you think about having this one back?
I think it's pretty cool. I mean, it's just, nice to have Metroid back. It was always kind of a cool one. Just also kind of freaky just to have the Metroid attached to you. It's always a bit of a... As a Metroid fan, just to have a bit of panic to have the Metroid on there. There's not much else to say.
No, there isn't. I mean,
we
works.
know exactly how it works. There's no speculation, but all we can say is that's cool.
I'm afraid hopefully this will be a running theme for every week now that we got all those news from the Smash Direct.
The only thing I can come up with the Metroid is maybe they'll make an alteration for it with the Kamaito from Kid Icarus, which works the same and looks the same. They could, they won't.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're right though. I mean, and they are all about bringing a bunch of Uprising stuff into the new Smash Brothers, so you never know. Alright, moving on to Tuesday, we get a picture of the three boxes that contain items from the game, and Sakurai just used it as a tease for the Smash Direct coming up the following day. Again, nothing new here. I believe all three of these boxes were in Brawl, including the one with wheels on it, which I had actually totally forgotten about. But I do think they have been redesigned a bit. The future, I think the industrial futuristic looking one, I think especially. I could be misremembering. I barely remember the boxes specifically.
The middle one I think did get a redesign. Of course, has the Smash branding on it.
Oh, that's true.
Kind of reminds me of the weighted companion cube in a way from Portal.
Yeah, it does actually, doesn't it?
Yeah, except instead of the heart, it's the Smash Brothers logo.
Yeah.
Although I will say, when I saw this picture, it's like, man, they missed out on another opportunity for the branding. Because when I saw the polka dots on the wrapping paper, I'm like, those should be the Smash Balls.
Oh, yeah, that would have been a really good idea. Because every other one, the crate has always had the Smash logo. So yeah, that one's the odd one out. Although the reflection is nice on the wrapping.
Yeah.
I'm wondering, is this new with Pikachu riding on top? Like, could you stand on the boxes before?
I believe you could stand on the ones that rolled before.
Okay.
That strikes me as a returning feature. I don't think that's new or not.
Alright. Then we're done with that screenshot. Wednesday is really easy for us to cover because there was nothing on Wednesday that he just linked to the Smash Brothers Direct. So we'll move on to Thursday. And again, we have another Metroid-themed picture. And for good reason, because Metroid, or Samus, is seeing some pretty major changes this time. By virtue of the fact they're turning what was one character into two. Being Samus and Zero Suit Samus. Two totally independent characters now. Samus no longer turns into Zero Suit Samus. They are changing how both of them will work a little bit, especially with Zero Suit Samus. How they showed during the Direct, and in this picture, she now has jet boots. And it's basically going to enhance her entire moveset, where you see them activate. And I never even realized the parallel here. Between her jet boots and then Samus's, or, suited Samus's jetpack. Yeah,
there is a little bit of a parallel there. You don't really notice it too much, at least especially with Smash Brothers, you're just too much into the fray. But it's, good, nice detailing. I mean, there's not really much to say. I do like the fact that they made Zero Suit Samus a separate character. I mean, one of the things you could do in Brawl is select Samus in such a way that Zero Suit Samus would be the one you start with.
Right.
But it still sort of limited you because as soon as you got the Smash Ball, it's that animation and you immediately switch back. So there was a little bit of a, disconnect there that you would, even though you pick the one character, if you're playing with items, you're losing that character's abilities in some respects. The only thing I can really think of otherwise to say about this picture is that with Zero Suit Samus being, her own character now, you could almost say that regular Samus, like when the two are fighting, that's SAX from Metroid Fusion. So we get a new character, kinda.
Wait, so can you elaborate on that, since I never played Metroid Fusion? Like what
SAX is sort of like the precursor to, or sort of like a same sort of thing as Dark Samus.
Okay.
Basically, a parasite takes over her suit.
Okay.
And controls it her own while she's stuck in the fusion suit, which is weaker and more susceptible to it because it has the ice beam and all that stuff. It's basically a lot of Metroid lore, but basically a alien parasite takes over her suit and she has to use a different suit in order to combat it.
Huh.
And so we could kind of claim that that's a new character.
You're right. We don't know. Yeah, we don't know it's not, right?
Yeah, exactly. It would be a cool detail if you could just sort of they kind of show her eyes and behind the visor. Maybe they just take out the eyes or make them, sort of pupilless like they do in in Metroid Fusion. I mean, I'm stretching here.
Obviously.
But it's just kind of fun.
Yeah, totally.
To say.
So what do you think about having the jet boot and the other changes they have made to Zero Suit Samus from what we've seen, between the screenshot and the direct, of course?
I've seen there's a lot of controversy online in reaction to her boots because they are kind of like heels. That never really bothered me at all. I think it looks fine. It's whatever. It's a design choice. There's girls in high heels in every form of media. That's just the way it is. I mean, look at Bayonetta. She has high heels in the form of guns. This is jet boots, which are technically more practical than the gun boots. So it's a stylistic choice. It works. I mean, it's whatever. It's doesn't really matter to me. I think the jet boots are a good idea because I kind of hope that they do sort of what they did with Kid Icarus and make Zero Suit Samus maybe even a bit more prevalent in the Metroid series, because it does add a new dynamic where you're sort of maybe just building up to the actual full suit. Like you start out as Zero Suit Samus and you actually have to work up to the suit at one point.
That'd be basically, that's basically what they do in every Metroid, except, where you build up your suit, but taking it to an even greater extreme, where you don't even have your suit.
Exactly. And thanks to Sakurai and all his ideas for Smash Bros. To provide Zero Suit Samus with more moves, she has enough moveset, I think, in order to make a game like that work. Whether or not they'll ever do it, you never know. But I mean, as far as the design is concerned and all the way she seems to work, I like her. I really do.
That's a perfect segue, actually, in acquiring skills and powers and becoming more powerful. Because for Friday's screenshot, he shows off a new picture of Smash Run mode, and he basically just described, what we already knew about it, how this mode basically functions like City Trial from Kirby Air Ride, in that you have 5 minutes to go around this arena, collect as many power-ups as you can to make your character stronger, and then at the end of that time, you will battle everyone else you're playing with. It's a multiplayer thing, and using the skills and power-ups you grabbed in that 5 minutes. So the more powerful you are, the better chance you have at winning in that brawl match. So since I think we touched on it a little bit in our previous discussion, but now that we've gone back and fully rewatched that trailer multiple times, and you've already done the better part of an analysis for it, which we have coming up very soon, probably on Saturday, I think. Let's get, I want to get more of your thoughts on this, because I know you never played City Trial, whereas I played it a bunch. So what's your take on having this mode here, and finding out more about it? Since a couple days ago.
Well, in doing the analysis, of course, you get much better look at it. You get a deeper look, and everything works and how it all plays. It does seem to be a very intelligent mode. I mean, it's definitely going to be something that for people who just want to get into fighting, it's probably not going to be for them. But for those who want to do something a little different before they get into the fights and just have a little bit of fun otherwise, I think it's a really good option. And I hear from a lot of people that City Trial mode in Kirby Air Ride was like one of the best things about that game, if not the best thing.
If not the only good thing.
Yeah.
No, I actually like that game, but yeah, that was the best part of the game by far.
Yeah, and it's just to see them adapt it for Smash Brothers. Seems to be working in a really intelligent way, and I've never played it before, but could you equip items to use in City Trial, or were you just coming straight?
No, I mean you couldn't equip items. I mean the only things you had were the skills you upgraded by collecting the power ups or the badges or patches they called it in that game.
Yeah, so this is the way that they're sort of giving it a little bit different, other than the fact that you're in a fighting game, not a racing game. It's just the fact that, like as he says, like in Kid Icarus, you'll be able to equip different items that you can use here. And I believe what we're seeing here, we saw also in the Direct, is the Horizon Beam, which is basically just essentially a screen nuke at this point. And I don't want to say too much further because I do have the analysis coming, and we don't want to spoil everything, particularly with how much time you put into it. Yeah, exactly. I've been working on it all day. Pretty much as soon as Greninja finished, I started up on that. So it's let's put it this way: we've already matched between the Greninja analysis, the analysis you have coming up, and my Smash Run analysis, the same amount of coverage for those three things as we did for our initial Smash Brothers trailer analysis, which was a half-hour long.
And we did this in 2 days, versus how long it took us to do the original Smash one.
Exactly, and we still have more coming up because we still haven't covered everything. So
it's ridiculous. Like, I forgot. I didn't even tweet out yesterday. When we finished our research, I probably should have, as you recommended. But yeah, it took Derek and I double teamed going through the trailer and all 350 or whatever screenshots. Took us 8 hours roughly, I think, to go through all of that, like frame by frame, get all the notes. And even then, there's still some things we'll have to go back and double check and whatnot.
Yeah, as you write up the actual scripts, you get your basic notes. As you get the scripts written, you're going back through that footage, looking for more ideas, trying to get more specific things, just get in your head. Because I don't know about you, but at the end of that session, I was freaking beat.
Oh, dude, I was fried. Like, I literally did nothing else for those 8 hours. Like, that's all I did. I think I took one break to go shower because I'm like, I probably should shower today.
I took a break to get a bite to eat, came back, and started working on it again. Found stuff that you had missed, which is why we were double teaming it, because going through that much stuff, you're gonna miss something on your own.
It's crazy because you're with games like this, you can't just watch it through once, like even frame by frame, because there's often 4 different characters to watch. You have to watch that thing essentially 4 times each time. So I mean, this is a slight exaggeration, but you're basically taking like a 40-minute video, multiplying that by 4. So you have 160-minute video, if my math is right. I'm really tired, so I have no idea. And then we're going frame by frame through this. It's ridiculous. So, it's kind of crazy, and I mean the best part is that it's exhausting, but it is fun to do because we are finding a lot more out about the game. We have ideas, we have things that we can basically have examples with. It's going to be good. So while we don't really have much to talk about with these pictures for this week, we have so much other coverage that it sort of makes up for it. But I guess the worry now is that can Sakurai keep the interest for future Miiverse posts when he just did such a big info dump this week? That's really the question. I mean, we'll keep doing this as long as people keep enjoying and watching them. But yeah, I'm really hoping that he didn't just blow everything he had in that one go and just leave it completely dry until E3, because I can see these discussions, because basically before we started doing these discussions, the updates were not terribly eventful, and as soon as we did the analysis, as soon as we finally got that done, the original analysis, it seemed like the screenshots started getting a lot better actually, so it was timed perfectly. So I'm hoping we don't go back to those early days where it was just basically just more comical situations and less actual information. But we'll see. Who knows? we'll see how this goes. Anyways, with that, we're done covering Smash Brothers for this discussion. I was gonna say this week, but no, we're not. There's still a lot more coming.
Not by a long shot.
So thanks guys for watching. Hopefully you enjoy the rest of our Smash coverage coming up very soon, and the stuff we've already posted. As always, keep an eye on our Facebook and Twitter pages at GameXplain. You can find links to them in the description below. We post all kinds of things there. It's just a great way to keep up to date on everything we post. And of course, keep an eye on GameXplain.com for all that and even more too. So thanks guys, and bye.